Now, time for Politics Max. Scary, where Max Cotton champions your political concerns.
Order.
On a Saturday night in April in 1981, 279 police officers were injured in riots that made Brixton look like a war zone. To cope with some of the causes of the riots, a handful of youth clubs were set up. The one I'd like to show you is here in Kennington, southeast London. It's still going 26 years later, but only just. This is the Ethelred Estate Community Youth Club. As you can see, it's popular. They say that 200 kids a week come here. The club was started by this guy. He's Fred Peters.
Everything okay?
Yes.
The place is known simply as Freddy's. They broke the mould when they made Freddy. Have you done a good job here over the last 20 years?
I think I have. I don't have any violent encounter here, knife, guns, drugs. So I must be doing something good.
But Freddy has fallen out with Lambeth Borough Council, who recently withdrew their funding. He refused to sign a contract with the council called a service level agreement. The club sits on prime development land, so Fred feels vulnerable. I'm here to see if the politics show can't pour a little oil on troubled waters. I'm paraphrasing here, but I think Lambeth Borough Council think you're a maverick. And so far, you have refused to sign a service level agreement.
This is all a load of bureaucratic rubbish. From my point of view, we took legal advice. They says to me, you know, it would be a stupid thing to sign this because it need to be rewritten and arranged.
Do you believe that Lambeth Borough Council want to kick you out of here because they want the land to build on?
Yes. And they can't tell me no difference. All right, Nathan, take one.
Don't know. Can I?
But underlying this conflict is the huge gain that all the kids here seem to get from coming to Freddy's.
Outside of the club, there are dangers and risks. Like you could be robbed or attacked or something. But at least in here, you know you're safe. And Freddy as well, he makes sure you're safe.
Everyone that comes here usually leads on to do something better with their life. They're just not on the roads, you know, they don't go thing. Freddy kind of brings them in under his wing.
It's a place where children can behave like children and they're not thinking about knives, they're not thinking about any problems. They can come and just let off some steam.
People are always looking for someone to blame in politics. And Lambeth Borough Council say categorically that they are not the bad guys in all this. But what seems to be undeniable is that communications between Fred Peters and his youth club and the town hall here are frosty, to put it mildly. To sort this out, will you meet up with Fred and try and reach some kind of consensus, some kind of agreement?
I, as a politician, have to be ensure the broad picture, broad provision of youth services safeguards all children and young people, protects the employees that are employed by them, and protects the organisations that run them, and the taxpayers' money as well. I'm perfectly happy to give a guarantee to sit around the table with senior officers and this group to nut out what it is that they
sort it out.
and sort it out.
This is the nurse centre.
With Fred and me is charities expert Dr. Richard Marsh. Fred needs some advice about fundraising, but he's also going to hear some home truths. Can a group like this get on its own without the council?
This particular group, you're always going to have a working relationship with the council.
You've got to start getting on with the council.
You've got to get on with the council. You are the great ambassador, you're the great selling point for this project, but you're also the founder. And founders have a level of personal and emotional engagement with it. And sometimes you might have to put that aside a little bit.
The Politics Show has arranged a special meeting between the club and the council. It's a fresh start to negotiate a brighter future. Lambeth want Fred to be constructive and cooperative. Characteristically, Fred tells me he wants them to walk a mile in his shoes.
You're not watching the wrist. Don't forget the wrist.
And if you need Max's help, well, go to our website and the address there and all the needs you need to know. Now, the return to Westminster isn't going that well for the Prime Minister, but did he have a good break? Well, our cartoonist Gary Barker, with vocal assistance from comedian John Coleshaw, brings you What I Did on My Summer Holidays by Gordon Brown.
This summer, I took the decision to go on holiday to the seaside. I thought it might be prudent to take my bucket and spade and swimsuit. However, it rained every day. People were predominantly grumpy, even though I pointed out the very real situation that the bad weather is due to the world climate and not singularly a British problem. Each morning, before the breakfast period, I took the decision to run around the park with Millie, my new friend. It must be said my school shorts are now markedly baggy around the middle. Since becoming the head boy, with the late night working and midnight snacks, deep responsibility of government, yada yada, I have become arguably more out of shape than was previously noted. And I must point out, it was easier being the deputy, and I got better marks in class then. Nasty, naughty David Miliband and his gang, the Primrose Hill Heavies, have attempted to engage me in fisticuffs. However, thanks to all of my running that was undertaken with Millie, I was enabled to get away. My pal, Edward B., says that they are crazy, destructive and divisive. I think they are simply envious that I am head boy, and this has been pointed out, as well as the fact that David Miliband, in my opinion, believes he could do better. I thought at least my best chum Alistair would be on my side, but I don't think he wants to be friends anymore. He said people didn't like me or any of the prefects. He even used a naughty and rude word. And then he said the school exam results are the worst they've been for 60 years. Nonsense. At the conclusion of the holidays, I took the decision to get a special present for everyone, as in my belief I thought it would cheer them up after all of the dreary and frankly not very good weather that we have had. I'm not too sure they like it very much. It still hasn't stopped raining.
And next Sunday, we'll be coming live from the Labour Party conference in Manchester. We'll have a panel of politicians, including the former Deputy Leader, John Prescott, and the former Home Secretary, Charles Clarke. Now, if you'd like to be part of the live studio audience, do visit our website and you can apply from there. See you next week in Manchester. Goodbye.